What's up guys, Justin here with the CGEssentials.com, back with another Blender add-on video for you. So in today's video we're going to start checking out RBD Lab. This is an add-on for Blender that allows you to simulate physics inside of your Blender models. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. Alright, so you can download this add-on from the Blender Marketplace. I will link to this in the notes down below, but basically what it is it's a tool designed to help you work with physics inside of Blender. So it does a lot of different things, from different kinds of fracturing to simulating smoke and debris and other things like that. We're going to jump into this with kind of a starter video today, but we can get into this more in the future. But if you do want to check it out, I will link to that in the notes down below. Alright, so what we want to do with this add-on is we want to use it to fracture our object so that we can do a physics simulation with it, right? So it's got some tools that are kind of similar to the cell fracture add-on, but it's got a lot more functions than the cell fracture add-on that comes with Blender. And so basically what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to take this object and fracture it by using some of the different settings that are in here. So it's got a scatter setting, which is basically going to allow you to come in here and set the number of points that this is going to get scattered to. Or we've got some functions which are kind of my favorite, which are the paint and annotation functions. The annotation function especially is super awesome. So the paint's just going to let you do a weight paint to set which areas get fractured more. The annotation, what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to actually use the pencil tool in here, or the annotation tool, in order to set the way things are going to get fractured. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to fracture our wall right here. Well, what we would do is we would use the annotation pencil in here to do that. We would want to make sure that we set our point source to the annotation pencil, and then we can come down, we can click on the button for fracture. There's other things you can do with like recursion, which will make smaller chunks get created in addition to bigger chunks. Let's keep it high level for this video. But if we click on the button for fracture, what that's going to do is that's going to come in here and that's going to fracture our wall. And notice how there's a lot more parts and pieces down here in the fracture than up above. So if I hold the Z key, jump into solid mode, you can see how this has fractured this wall right here. And it's fractured through to the backside as well. But basically what we want to do now is we want to use this in order to create a physics simulation. And by the way, then you can come up and you can click on End Annotation, and we can go ahead and erase out our annotation now. But what we want to do now is we want to use this in order to set up a simple simulation. So the first thing we want to do is we want to set this up with the physics associated with these objects, right? So notice how you can target a collection. So what it does is it puts all of these cells that were created in a damaged wall collection. Well, now what we can do is, first off, we can set this so that these are now set as rigid body actives, right? So basically what that means is if we click on Add Rigid Body Actives, then click the play button, this is just going to fall out of our scene, right? The reason it's going to fall out of our scene is because we don't have ground in here. So what we want to do is we want to click on the button for Add Ground. The ground is going to keep that from falling out of the scene. So now if I click play, right, my wall is going to fall over, which is fine. We'll fix that in a second. But it's going to automatically add that ground plane so you don't have to mess around with the rigid bodies or anything like that. But now what we want to do is we want to start by adjusting the glue strength of our wall. Because right now what's happening is this got broken up into a bunch of different little pieces that aren't really connected to each other, right? So when you click play, it's like all the pieces are just kind of falling down on top of each other, which is cool, but not what we're looking for. What we want is we want to add a glue constraint to these objects. So all you have to do that is just click on the button for glue constraint, or add glue constraint. Well, when we do that, now if we click play, notice how the wall is kind of holding together, right? It jumps around just a little bit, but basically these pieces are holding together because we've given them a glue function. So that means they're going to hold together until something interacts with them, right? Well, now what we can do is, let's say I wanted to use my Bonnie model. So we're going to do a material preview. Well, this will interact with the physics inside of Blender. So if we take our body model, we're going to rotate her over here. We're going to move her to the back side of the wall like this, right? So now we've got her over on the side. Well, we just want to come in here and we just want to add some physics settings to her. So in this case, we want her to be a rigid body. So what that means is that she's going to act as a body that things will interact with inside of Blender. We want to set this to passive instead of active. for right now. So right now, nothing's really happening again. But what we want to do is we want to keyframe this so that she runs through the wall. So we're going to start by doing an I. We're going to insert a location keyframe right here. And then at 30, we're going to move this model so that she's come through the wall like this. And then we're going to insert another keyframe, which is going to be a location keyframe. Remember, we set her as a passive body, meaning that she's not going to fall out of the scene, right, or anything like that, because gravity is not really affecting her, but she's going to interact with the other things in our model. All right, so if we reset this and run it again, notice that still nothing's going to happen, because what we didn't do is we didn't check the box for animated. So within the body model, just make sure you check the box for animated. Now if we run this, what's going to happen is she's going to run through the wall and she's going to interact with the wall. Now notice how she carried the wall along with her, right? The reason that she carried the wall along with her is because our glue strength is too strong. So this is where we start playing around with our glue strength to figure out what the glue strength is that we need to hold the wall together, but not so much that the wall kind of sticks together when she pushes through it. So let's say, for example, that we brought this down to 100, and then we clicked on the button for update. That's going to update the glue strength for the collection that we have targeted. So now, if I click on the play button and she runs through, she's going to break through the wall just like that, which is cool because it creates this simulation like she's running through the wall. But one of the issues that we're having, though, is that our wall starts falling down before she comes through it. So we're going to turn that glue up just a bit. And this is just more of like a trial and error process, right? All right, and so for some reason, I've got a piece over here on the right-hand side that just seems to want to fall out no matter what I do. So I either bump my glue up higher or, all right, and so what I ended up doing on this one is I just went back in and upped my friction a little bit. So then if I play this, my body model now runs through the wall like this without the wall falling down first. So we can use this in order to simulate her running through the wall. And so we can kind of play around with this a little bit more. So if we wanted her to run like further through the wall or something like that, then we could just select that keyframe and just move her further along right here. And we'll just re-keyframe that where she's a little further along. So now we've got an animation where she runs through the wall like this. And I think I'm pretty happy with the result that we're getting there. So one thing that we might want to think about doing, though, is we want to go ahead and bake that simulation. So we're just going to go down, and there's an option down below for bake. And so we're just going to bake this simulation, and really we only need to bake the simulation through, like, maybe call it 60 frames, right? So we're just going to type in 60 and then click on the button for bake. And so what that's going to do is that's going to bake this through like this. So now, if we hit play, this is going to kind of run through in real time. Well, now let's play around a little bit with adding some debris. And so what I want to do is I want to go find the frame where my wall first starts breaking through. And then I want to click on the button for emit from current frame. So now I've got the emit from current frame set up. And so notice how there's now more particles being emitted in there than there were before. So this is using the particle system to emit some additional pieces when Bonnie runs through the wall right there. And I think this only works if you've baked this. Again, we can get into all this more in the future, but just as kind of a high level thing. But then let's say we also want to add dust. So we can click on the button for emit from current frame, and that's going to add dust in addition to debris in our scene. So now if we run this, see how this is adding these little dust pieces in here? And you can also render it out. And we're going to keep it an Eevee, and we'll just add we'll do a Shift A, and we'll just add a sun for right now. And we'll set our sun up so it's facing towards this wall. Maybe bump the light up a little bit. All right, and so now if we take a look at this, we've got our body model running through our scene. Notice how what this does is this adds these additional particles in here in order to make this look more realistic. And so you can set this to add more or less of those. So for example, notice if I jump the dust up, I can kind of adjust the different features that we have in here for the way that this looks. So you could set your dust to be bigger or smaller. But then within your scene, notice how those will all be simulated out. All right, so just before I was going to hit publish on this, they also released a new updated version that has improved fractures, an improved scatter panel, other things like that. So I'll link to this add-on in the notes down below, but I would love to hear from you what you think about this add-on. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. But as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.